In a world full of change, Spain is, in many ways, a country which cherishes its traditions. Many of these can be traced back over the centuries to the Phoenicians, Romans, and the Moors. Since the Romans were here, wine has almost always been part of the Spanish way of life, just as each region developed a cuisine of its own, based on the type of fish caught nearby and the vegetables that grew best in its climate and soil. They also evolved their own individual styles of wine. In the fast-moving Spain of today, there's a quiet revolution going on. There's a spirit of experimentation, of simultaneously looking into the past as well as the future. The Spaniards are questioning and often reviving old traditions while exploring and adopting the new. This revolution is as apparent in food and drink as it is in every other aspect of Spanish life. But before talking about the wine revolution in detail, it's worth stopping to take a look at Spain as a country and to take a brief tour around its surprisingly diverse wine-growing regions. By far the most famous of Spain's wine regions has always been Rioja, whose mountains and hillier vineyards overlook the river Ebro. This is where the reputation of Spain's red wines was born, and it's still the flagship of the Spanish wine industry. It's an area of individual growers who tend their own small plots of land. Mostly, they grow red Tempranillo and Garnacha, and white Viura, which they deliver to the bodegas and cooperatives, where the grapes will be crushed and fermented and the wine matured. It's varied, too. Some bodegas make their wines from grapes grown in various parts of the region, while others use fruit harvested in the vineyards of their own estates. Recently, a great deal of research has gone into the vineyards and into oak aging, both for reds and whites. To the east of Rioja is the proud old region of Navarra, whose towns and buildings are full of history. Traditionally, most of the wines were considered to be of a fairly basic quality. With few exceptions, they were sold at a lower price. Indeed, the only real success stories were the young reds and the rosados, the rosés made from the peppery garnacha. But that's the past. New winemaking methods have been introduced, and new vineyards planted, both of local and foreign varieties. Today, Navarra is making some of the most successful wines in Spain. Penedès in Catalonia has a variety of climates and conditions. Some areas are warm, where red varieties like Tempranillo and Monastrell and whites like Macabeo and Perellada ripen well. Other zones suit cold climate varieties like Chardonnay and Riesling. Catalonia is the region most associated with Cava, Spain's sparkling wine produced by the traditional method of second fermentation in the bottle in which it is sold. Its producers have developed much of the state-of-the-art technology used for this wine. Two more regions that are having success with new grape varieties are Alea and Somontano. This is a previously little-known higher altitude area where go-ahead and highly equipped producers have recently begun to make world-class red and white varietal wines. Modern methods have also been the key to the success of Costas del Segre, where what was previously almost a desert has been transformed into very fruitful vineyards, full of traditional and imported varieties that now produce large quantities of top-class reds, whites, and sparkling wines. Conca de Barbara is another secluded, higher altitude region. The cooler temperatures and gravelly soil are ideal for subtle wines made from native Spanish varieties and the Syrah and Cabernet Sauvignon. Ribera del Duero on the River Duero, which goes on to become the Douro in Portugal, is one of the oldest wine regions in Spain and the focus of a great deal of new investment. At 600 meters or 2,000 feet above sea level, it has warm days and cool nights and intense red wines made from the Tempranillo, known here as the Tinto Fino. Stone chimneys reveal the presence of cellars dug deep into the hillsides. Here, some of Spain's longest-lived wines often mature in new oak barrels. Montilla's hot conditions allow producers to make aperitif and dessert wines that reach a natural strength of 15% or more, while Malaga is the place to find Spain's most traditional fortified moscatels. Jerez is hot too. It's this heat, along with the combination of white, chalky soil and the Palomino grapes, that together help to produce sherry, Spain's and arguably the world's most famous fortified wine. But the